So what's your name and age?
Ellen and I'm 15.
Ryan and I'm 15.
Holly and I'm 15.
Ola and I'm 16.
So, as you know, the situation in Northern Ireland at the minute is it's not that pretty because a lot of people that live around here, you know, they don't feel respected, appreciated, you know, as viable people within their community. A lot of people do, but some people are very divided between the communities. All people, you know, regardless of beliefs or, you know, even abilities or disabilities, healthcare needs and stuff like that there, they all deserve to be respected and treated equally. And obviously, since there's a divide between our schools, our streets, um, things need to change. So I suppose the first question, you know, what does inclusion mean to you, and what needs to change in this country to become more of an inclusive society?
I think there's like a lot of topics people are afraid to talk about, like religion wise and even like race and gender and stuff. And I think when people kind of start to talk about it, it becomes easier to make everything more inclusive and make sure everybody feels treated equally.
What about you?
Is this just about like Protestants and Catholics, or just about like everything?
It could
Like,
be about anything you want it to be about, but mainly probably about you know, how we're divided between, you know, as you said, Catholics and Protestants, but it can inclusive can be more than just Catholic and Protestants. But I suppose Catholic and Protestants is just a label, isn't it? It's really about nationalism and
yeah.
unionism, but Catholic and Protestant is just the name that goes with that, which is it's just a label, isn't it? What do you think about it anyway?
Well,
It's hard to answer, you know, but
I think I don't like. It's a lot of us, like some people just saying something to like the wrong person, and they'll just judge you instantly, and they'll just not want to talk to you. I've had that before, but even just saying where you live, people can get the wrong idea. I live in a very unionist state. That's the word, but even just saying that, people will just judge you just for that, and they'll think of you as this. And you have some people who don't really understand it, and they preach it just so much, and just I don't really know.
well, to be honest, Ryan, like I completely agree with you because you know, people are divided, you know, Catholics and you know Protestants, and we live in different areas, and you know, even like going into town and stuff where it's getting mixed, you know, or you know, you can't go into certain areas and stuff like that. There,
It's not that you can't go into them. It's just
you can't. It's not that you can't go into them, but it's that there's a risk. There could be a risk going into them. You know,
no.
people,
I don't feel like I'm gonna get jumped or anything just because they know who I am. But
right? But I mean, what if you know, for example, someone wearing a Celtic top walked through the dining room and thought that was going on? That could be a risk.
yeah, but
You know, I think it depends on the time of year, the circumstances and stuff like that. There, like bonfires and stuff like that. There's a big one too. But I think the main thing, like on any other normal day, as you said, would be like, you know, like even being judged, you know, even by your voice, you know what I mean? Because people from different areas, like, have different, you know, accents, voices, and you know, things people wear and stuff like that. There, and like football teams people support can be judged on that.
It's one of those ones where
And I mean, I think it's wrong. Like, I'm sure most people do, but it's obviously still an issue. But I'm glad to hear your opinion on that anyway. It's definitely something that still happens in today's society. No doubt about it. Hopefully for the future, there's better to come. What about yourself?
I don't really have an opinion on it. Like, I've went to integrated schools my whole life, and I've never been involved in any talks about that with my family or anything.
You know about it though?
I know, like, a tiny bit from stuff I've overheard, but not that much.
What about you?
Well, I mean, I only moved over here 4 years ago from England, so I didn't know anything about it, and it's very different from England, you know, as you said. But I guess it's like to get over it. It's like education, like understanding it, and like like understanding each other. Like not just on religion, but on everything.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And, do you think certain programs like charities and stuff, just like what we're doing right now, like kind of helps us relate to each other? Because not everybody in the room is British or Irish. There's people obviously from very diverse backgrounds. From all of this really. Do you think programs like this, I mean, this is just one of them, but there's lots around the town, they help foster better relationships between families? Yeah, 100%. Same. I love programs like this, that's why I go here really. I'm with Helen, so not everyone is from the same backgrounds, and it's so good they relate to other people like that. What about even the next 5 or 10 years? Like how do you think? How do you see it being? Do you think it's going to improve?
Depends how Brexit goes.
What do you even think? I don't know if you keep up with politics, but even at the minute, like there's like political breakdowns in Stormont and stuff, and with our own government, and it doesn't really help to move us forward. What do you even think of that? Do you think our government will? I mean, even 3 years ago, two some years ago, the government collapsed, and there was no government here for 3 years. Like, what do you even think of stuff like that? It doesn't help us, does it?
They can be stubborn for no reason. Like the Irish Language Act, if people don't want to, not everyone wants to learn Irish, but like just because they're nationalist or whatever. Like if people want to do it, they will learn it just outside of schools anyway. Don't really think it does anything. It's a big argument over nothing.
He got me like a plate of chips.